You have always assumed the best cars in the world come from Europe. Not blindly, not without reason. You grew up with that understanding, and the evidence backed it up. BMW engineering, Mercedes precision, Volkswagen reliability, Porsche performance. These were not marketing claims, they were decades of proof, built into roads across every continent, validated by generations of buyers who paid the premium and felt it was worth it. European cars meant something. They stood for something. The engineering culture that produced them was real, serious, and hard-earned. In 2020, Chinese electric vehicles held 0% of the European market. Zero. Not a rounding error, not a footnote, literally nothing. No presence, no threat, no reason to look twice. In 2024, they held nearly 10% in 4 years. And Volkswagen, the company that has built cars in Europe for 88 years, is closing factories for the first time in its history. The car doing it costs $15,000. This is not a story about the future. This is happening right now, and the assumption you just held, the one about European engineering excellence, is exactly what made the European auto industry so completely unprepared for what arrived. If that just cracked something you were certain about, stay with this, because the crack goes deeper than the headlines. Europe was supposed to be safe. China made cheap electronics, cheap furniture, cheap clothes, but cars? That was Europe's territory. BMW, Mercedes, Volkswagen, Porsche, Renault, Peugeot. Cars were the thing Europe did better than anyone on Earth. That wasn't arrogance, it was history. Decades of investment, of engineering tradition, of supply chains and manufacturing cultures refined across generations. Then BYD arrived, and within 36 months, the conversation in every European boardroom changed from how do we compete with Tesla to how do we survive BYD. In this video, we're going to break down exactly what happened, why Europe wasn't prepared, what BYD actually built, and what it means for every car buyer on the planet. Before we go further, hold this question underneath everything you're about to hear. If the best engineered cars in the world couldn't defend the market that made them famous, what exactly is engineering excellence worth in the EV era? The answer surfaces at the end, and it is not the answer the European auto industry wants. The car that changed Europe wasn't the most expensive or the most advanced, it was the BYD Atto 3. It launched in Norway in 2022, then the Netherlands, then Germany, then France. Price around €38,000 in most markets, competitive with a VW Golf or a Peugeot 308. But the Atto 3 wasn't competing with a Golf, it was competing with the Tesla Model Y and matching it spec for spec at 20% less cost. 420 kilometers of range, 150 kilowatt charging, 7-inch digital instrument cluster, rotating center console, panoramic sunroof, heat pump standard. Features that on a European car would cost $55,000 for $38,000, and not features bolted on as an afterthought, features integrated into a vehicle that drove well, felt solid, and came with a warranty that European buyers could actually use. But the BYD Atto 3 was just the beginning. Then came the BYD Dolphin at $28,000. Then the BYD Seagull, announced for Europe at under $20,000. Each car more affordable than the last, each one beating its European equivalent on specs. None of them built in Europe, none of them subject to the same labor, energy, or regulatory costs. And here is the number that made European executives go pale. BYD's production cost per vehicle is estimated at 40% lower than Volkswagen's, not slightly lower, 40%. That gap is not a pricing strategy, it is a structural reality built over decades of a completely different approach to what a car company is and how it should be organized. To understand why this gap exists, you need to understand what BYD actually is. BYD is not a car company that makes batteries. BYD is a battery company that makes cars. They started in 1995 making rechargeable batteries for Nokia phones. By 2003, they had the most advanced lithium battery manufacturing in the world. When they entered the car market, they didn't need to buy batteries from Cat EL or Panasonic. They made their own, at cost, at scale, permanently. Volkswagen's battery supplier is Samsung SDI and Cat EL. When battery prices rise, VW pays more. When supply chains break, VW waits. When BYD wants to cut battery costs, they redesign the cell in-house and manufacture it next week. There is no negotiation. There is no supplier relationship to manage. There is no quarterly conversation about cost per kilowatt hour. There is only the decision to build a better cell and the capability to execute it immediately. That vertical integration gap cannot be closed with a press release. It takes 10 to 15 years to build what BYD built, and European automakers don't have 15 years. Volkswagen announced in 2023 that it needs to cut 35,000 jobs, not someday, now. Because their cost structure, built around a century of internal combustion manufacturing, doesn't work for the price war they're now in. Those 35,000 jobs are not a consequence of poor management decisions made in a single boardroom. They are the accumulated cost of a business model that was perfectly rational for 100 years and is now structurally incompatible with the market it operates in. That is a much harder problem than a bad strategy. You can fix a bad strategy. You cannot quickly dismantle a century of embedded cost structure while simultaneously trying to build a new one. And while Volkswagen is managing that dismantling, BYD is opening its next factory. Europe isn't sitting still. In October 2023, the European Commission launched an anti-subsidy investigation into Chinese EVs. In June 2024, they imposed additional tariffs, up to 38.1% on BYD vehicles, 48.1% on SAIC, and 17.4% on others. Sound familiar? It's the same playbook America used. Tax the competition until domestic industry can catch up. But here's the difference between Europe and America. Europe doesn't have a domestic EV battery manufacturer. America has Tesla, Rivian, Lucid, GM, Ford, all investing billions in batteries. Europe has Volkswagen, which is behind schedule, and Stellantis, which is posting losses. The tariffs bought time, but time for what? No European automaker has a battery cost structure that can match BYD, even with tariffs. And BYD is now building a factory in Hungary, inside the EU, which means the tariffs don't apply. The door closed, the window was already open. And this is where the story stops being about Europe and starts being about something more fundamental. A tariff is a political instrument. It operates at the border. It can stop a product from crossing a line on a map. What it cannot do is stop the factory that is already being built on the other side of that line. Hungary is in the European Union. A car built in Hungary is a European car for the purposes of European trade law. BYD understood this before the tariff was announced. The Hungary investment was not a response to the tariff. The timeline suggests it was already in motion. The door closed, the window was already open. You might be watching this and thinking, okay, this is a European problem. It isn't. What is happening in Europe right now is a preview of what happens everywhere. The 100% tariffs keeping Chinese EVs out of America will not last forever. Trade policies change, administrations change, pressure from car buyers changes things. The average American car payment is $737 a month. The average European equivalent has crossed similar thresholds. And on both continents, a buyer who is told a $15,000 electric vehicle exists but cannot be purchased for political reasons is a buyer who is paying attention to that answer in a way they weren't before. When, not if, a $20,000 BYD rolls onto American roads, GM, Ford and Stellantis will face the same crisis Volkswagen is in today. Not a version of it, the same crisis, the same battery cost structure, the same vertical integration deficit, the same question of whether to use the remaining time to innovate or to lobby for more time. History suggests the second option. Washington suggests the second option, and the BYD factory in Hungary suggests that the second option has a shelf life that is shorter than the lobbyists believe. The European auto industry spent a century building its identity around engineering excellence, and in 4 years, a Chinese company with a better battery, a lower cost base, and a faster supply chain walked into that market and started winning. The lesson isn't that European cars are bad. The lesson is that in the EV era, the company with the best battery wins. And right now, that company is Chinese. That is not a permanent condition. It is not written into the physics of the situation. Batteries can be built anywhere by anyone with the capital, the patience, and the willingness to treat the battery as the product rather than a component inside the product. But the companies that understood that first, built the factories first, filed the patents first, vertically integrated first, have a lead that engineering excellence alone cannot close. Because in the EV era, engineering excellence and battery manufacturing scale are not separate things. They are the same thing. And the European auto industry built its excellence on the wrong foundation for the world that arrived. That is the answer to the question from the beginning. Engineering excellence is worth exactly as much as the technology it is excellent at. Change the technology, and the excellence has to be rebuilt from scratch. That rebuilding is happening now. Whether it happens fast enough is the only question left, and it does not have a comfortable answer yet. The Dravexa community exists for exactly this kind of story. The one that starts somewhere you didn't expect to care about and ends somewhere that makes you realize the story was always about something closer to home than it looked. If you want to follow it before it arrives at your dealership, subscribe. Next video covers the motor technology BYD developed after the battery. And if the battery story unsettled you, the motor story is going to make you question something you thought was already settled.